Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So in today's video we're back here at the Wimbledon Children's Hospital because Max has an appointment with a speech therapist. So in our appointment with the neurological physiotherapist, we just expressed some concerns that his voice is a little bit weaker than Leo's. So she just booked us in to see a speech therapist, and they're going to have a look at him.
So we just finished up with a speech pathologist and the appointment didn't go how we expected it to. We came out with some news about Max which we weren't even aware was a thing, and that is aspiration. So essentially when he's feeding, he's
not timing his breaths and his swallows, and that means that the flap that
the epiglottis
isn't closing properly, and he's getting some breast milk into his lungs.
It can lead to a lot of chest infections, serious ones like pneumonia and bronchiolitis, which is the RSV virus that he had in Melbourne. So it is a big deal. Babies do end up in hospital for these things frequently, and the recommendation is that we introduce a thickener to his breast milk, which will mean that potentially I'll have to stop breastfeeding. So first step for them is we're getting the script filled now for this thickener, and it just will make it, I guess, slow down his feeding. And the next step is a videofluoroscopic study, swallow study, which they'll put contrast in the x-ray and they'll watch him feeding.
It's like a video x-ray, and they'll be able to have a look at how he swallows.
From that they'll give recommendations. She said worst case scenario he ends up on a nasogastric tube, which is really not something that we want to have to do, but potentially I won't be able to breastfeed him, which is really upsetting. Like, I think as a mum you want to
breastfeed and have that bonding.
Yeah, but you want to do what's best for your baby, and they push that breastfeeding is best. And just to think that he's been like this for weeks, and not knowing that
knowing how serious this can turn out.
Yeah, like, and I have taken him to doctors about, he's got a rattly chest all the time, he's got a cough, and I've taken him to multiple doctors. I've discussed it with the cardiologist, and not once was aspiration even brought up, and that kind of pisses me off a little bit. Like, he's a baby who's been through a major surgery, so there was chances that there could be delays with his development, and not being able to coordinate feeding is a developmental delay. And
they should have looked out for it. They
should have at least told us to look out for it. So you know, I am a bit upset about it. The pathologist also told us they're not able to refer us directly to a respiratory doctor. So they have told us, I'm seeing our GP today, and she said to ask for a referral to them, just to monitor his chest, because he does have a rattly chest already. And she had a look at the previous x-ray, which was done in July, and it did mention that there was some signs of, I don't want to say damage, but changes to the lungs. She said that in the first 2 years of age, that's when their lungs are developing the most, and
so they don't want any fluid in the lungs like at this age.
Yeah, any damage done now is damage for life, so we need to get on to what do we have to do to make sure that he's got the best chance at a healthy life, you know.
We need to figure out how we can get him better like now, so this doesn't affect him for the rest of his life. She did say that this is something that will fix itself on its own as he grows up. The fact that, you know, he'll learn how to swallow and suck and get the timing right. She also said that like during surgery they could have nicked his vocal cords.
Yeah, it is like hard, it's emotional. Like I think we've been going on like he's doing so well, and he is still doing so well, but you know, we're thinking he's being so great because he's gaining weight, but it's like, you know, just like right now holding him, you can hear this feel and hear this rattling, and he's had it 4 months, and you know, we just thought maybe it's, you know, he's got a sister in childcare, she gets him sick all the time. Like Leo has a cough too, but he doesn't get this rattle that Max gets.
So from here we're gonna wait for the pharmacy to have his thickening agent ready. We're gonna pick that up. I'm gonna go back to work, and Ellen's gonna go down to the GP, get the boys and Emily checked out, because all 3 of the kids have conjunctivitis. And from there we're going to talk to the GP about the referral to the respiratory doctor, and from there I guess we'll know a little bit more about what's happening.
So at this point the speech pathologist has to get a doctor to refer us for the video study, which she said they'll get back to us next week just to check how he's doing taking bottles, but also to let us know about that. She said he's priority because of his age. So that should be done in the next, you know, couple of months. She did say it is a busy clinic, so hopefully sooner rather than later. With the respiratory doctor, we could have waited to see the cardiologist to get referred, but that's still not till November, so we want to get onto things as quick as we can. And yeah, you know, do what's best for our... It's going to be busy. Like, it's hard as it is juggling the 3, but adding in now having to bottle feed, but we'll do whatever we have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, if we fast forward a couple of days, we've had a bit more time to digest this information and also do some investigation of our own. So there wasn't a whole lot of information on the internet, but one good resource that Ellen used was reaching out through our Heart Kids group and just posting something on there and just seeing the feedback that we got.
Yeah, I think aspiration is really prevalent in Heart Kids. It can be caused by injury during surgery, so I think it was a good starting point to find out, you know, how common this is, if it's something that's more developmental or something that's more likely to be physical. And they were really good help. They're very supportive every time you ask a question in that forum, which is great. But also they gave me some ideas, such as considering speaking to a lactation consultant. Some had actually continued to breastfeed their baby and somehow added thickener to the breastfeed. So that's something that we might look into after the next appointment. So the day after the appointment, I had a phone call from Max's cardiologist, which was great. She had received the email asking for the referral to have this further testing done. And she just reached out and just asked me further questions, discussed our concerns. She is going to refer, or she has referred Max to see an ENT as well to investigate whether it's a physical issue, which is fantastic. It's so great that the doctor himself is calling. So we do have an appointment booked for Max. It was booked a few weeks in advance, but they've since called us and got us in a couple of days' time, which is great. At the moment he is still breastfeeding, but he's having some thickened top-up, some thickened feeds, and he's doing pretty well with the bottle.
Alright guys, that's the end of the video today. So if you're pregnant with twins, if you have twins, if you're pregnant with a heart kid, or you're just interested to see what we have going on, look out for the upcoming videos. Better yet, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And
sorry, he's very distracting. He's a very cute kid. He's smiling.
And if you want to donate to Heart Kids, we'll have the link in the description below. And thank you for making it to the end of the video, and we'll see you in the next one. I don't know, do you want to...
So we just finished up with the speech pathologist. No. So we just finished up with the speech therapist and the appointment.
They're pathologists. They are. They're pathologists.
The
Sorry.
mighty- Okay.
Anyway, speech pathologist.
I'm less angry now than I was in the initial. But yes.